Hello and welcome to the Jellyfish Journals. My name is Susie and I am very excited because I am about to do my second unboxing, although I'm not really sure if it's an unboxing if I've already taken them out of the box. So maybe I'll call it an unwrapping. But not too long ago, the washi tape shop reached out to me and asked if I would like to be one of their affiliates. And I'm kind of new to all of this, but I've definitely been curious about using their stuff and trying out their washi tape. Previously, I've only ever used washi tape that comes in your traditional rolls like this, where it's a little thinner, more like paper, easy to tear and all of that. I'm pretty new to PET tape and those kinds of things, but definitely these wider rolls of washi tape. And if you can see, this is a pretty standard type washi tape, but if you can see the size of them, it's pretty incredible. So I've been dying to jump in and give it a try. So when they offered it, I said, what the heck, let's give this a try. And I will be honest with you, I was a little nervous about the part of it where I make videos using their product, because I kind of like to pick and choose things that inspire me and be creative based on that. So I did not choose anything in front of me. So my opinions, of course, will be, as always, genuine. They did let me know what I would be receiving, and so I was very grateful for that, because since I knew what was coming my way, I've already been thinking about it. How am I going to use this product, especially since I did not choose it myself? And in a minute, I will do a plan with me video because I am so stinking excited about an idea I have for this washi tape right here. And seriously, I cannot wait. It's been in the back of my mind ever since I had this idea. I could not wait for this package to show up. So I do have a code for you if you decide you like any of these washi tapes or want to try out what I'm going to do in a minute. You can use my code. It is thejellyfish10, and that should get you 10% off. My understanding is that there will be a little kickback for me. I think I used that term correctly there. But no extra cost to you. So with that being said, I am going to go ahead and unwrap these. Just take a good look. I have not opened them yet. I just took them out of the box. And they did come all like bubble wrapped, and they came with this cute little card here, and this are both stickers. So I'm going to try to find something fun to do with some panda stickers eventually, not today. But this will be my first impression, and I'll start with the ones that I was the least excited to get. You've probably seen, I'm going to move these out of the way. You've probably seen people, if you follow the washi tape shop on Instagram, they're going to keep rolling over. Hold on. If you follow the washi tape shop on Instagram, there comes another one. Then you have probably seen these being used by some influencers and YouTubers. And to be honest, not super excited about these. I have a rough thought about what I might do with them, but I'm not positive yet. I kind of want to look at them and think it through. So once I have definitely settled on an idea for those, you will see that on YouTube and Instagram. But first thoughts, and I'm, if you can't tell how new I am to this, that is definitely the break line. But I don't know if it goes to the left or to the right. So I'm just peeling. Okay, it looks like it goes to the right. Oh boy. Oh, it's like okay, I see. It's like a sticky thing. Okay, I'm gonna put that there. And I mean, the colors are beautiful. They're really rich. I feel like they're not resonating very well on here, but the purple is like the mountains are really a true purple. It's kind of registering more of a navy, I think, on camera, but very shiny, you can tell, very glossy. And it's just this like town There's some electrical poles and then the mountains in the background. Oh, and there's some water. The water's got a like pinky color. And I'm trying to see, I can't tell how long till it repeats, but it has not repeated yet. There's a bridge with a train. And I think that, nope, that's not the repeat. Hold on. Is that the repeat? No, my understanding is that at some point it repeats. Okay, there it is. Oh, and you can even see there's like a little break there in the sticker. So I think all of this is one sticker. But obviously, yeah, that's all one sticker. You can kind of see where it's cut out there. So obviously that's way too long for a journal. I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet, but I will figure that out. All right, to save a little time, I went ahead and unwrapped this one and got that tape off. This one is definitely more my speed. I do feel like it goes along really well with the other washi I just showed you. I also feel like this washi, wherever it does repeat, I'm not even going to try to look for it. Oh, probably wherever the moon is. There's a moon at that side, so there's probably only one moon in the pattern. This is so pretty. Still not my favorite, not my style, but I have a really cool idea for this that'll be coming up in an upcoming video. I know, I'm sorry, I'm shaking it a little too much. It is very glossy. I'm going to try to angle it a little bit. Ooh, I didn't think about bringing it closer. But there's little black birds in it, and the sky does this like really pretty ombre effect from light to dark up in the clouds. So that's the second one I got. I do have an idea for this, but not today. It's not happening today. All right, this is more like traditional washi tape, it seems. It's all one piece. Just gonna kind of tear it. Yeah, it tears very easily like washi tape. I love how thick it is. I feel like there's a lot of things you can do with that, and actually, I just got a cool idea for this too in the future. But it's got a paper backing on it, so it doesn't peel like normal washi tape where it's just stuck to itself. And, but yeah, I love how thick it is. There's a little bit of shine to it, so it's not quite super matte like some others, but I think this is actually a lot prettier. This reminds me of my grandmother, who passed away. She used to live in Kentucky, and I just don't know why, but it just seems like something she would have really loved. This one I'll open at the same time because the color scheme on this one is pretty similar. So I'm gonna try to rip this open really quick. And yeah, and I think these two will go really well together. I don't do a lot of themed spreads, but this could end up being like a subtle nod to Easter, which I think is later in March. It might be in May. I mean, April, sorry. But this one's got little bunnies on it. And well, like I said, normally I don't plan or journal around seasons. This could just be a really cute nod to it. And so you can kind of see how these two could go really nicely together. These are like deep greens, and then the bunnies with those creams and oranges in it. So I think that could be really fun to do something with that. All right, so this one's kind of more like washi stickers, it seems. I've kind of already wrecked it a little bit. Oh, that's where this goes. Yeah, I kind of wrecked it a little bit because I didn't realize that when I was pulling it off. So that one might stay there. It might be ruined. It did tear a little bit off this sticky part here. And then some of the backing is coming off, you can see there. But this one looks like they're more like washi tape florals. So they're that like thin, papery. I bet they, well, obviously they tear very easily. I'll be honest, I was worried about this one because I thought it was one strip of PET tape they were sending. And I thought I was going to have to cut every little thing out individually. And I'm really glad to see that I'm not going to have to do that. I have a thought of something I might want to do with these pinker shades. This one's got a little more peach to it. This one's got more pinky colors. But I kind of need to wait and see what else I have that might go with this. This kind of stands alone by itself. And I just think I want to give that a little bit more thought. I do think, this one I didn't roll up yet, but I do think some of these paler, creamy colored flowers go really nicely with this washi. So that could be something cool to do later. But these, I think they're peonies. I don't think I ever really knew what a peony was until I moved out to Colorado, and then they grow pretty easily here. And yeah, I think this is a nice one. I think this is going to be really pretty. I love how realistic they look. All right, so this one I am very excited about because when I did go look on their website, I almost purchased this one myself. This is, again, more like a washi tape than a PET tape. And my understanding is the only real difference is PET tape is more plasticky. That's really all I can tell. This is more like washi tape, so it's going to tear very easily. And when I saw this is their, I think it's called Mediterranean Tiles. Maybe? Yeah, Mediterranean Tiles. And when I saw this on their website, I just love it so much. And I am so excited. I have a really cool idea for this. I'm actually going to be using this in a coloring book coming up. There's so many different patterns on these tiles. I'm really excited. So keep an eye out for that video. That'll be coming out hopefully soon because I'm so excited. I might break my rule about finishing one page before I start another so that I can get started on this. I'm super excited. All right. And this last washi, I am so excited for. When I saw that they were sending this, I had no idea what I was going to do. I don't know. The scenes are kind of large, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do with them. But I think it's a killer idea. I'm very excited anyway. But these are like different scenes, and they are washi tape, it looks like. I'm going to check it out real quick. But yeah, they seem to be washi tape, which actually works really well for what I'm planning to do. And it does look like you'll need to cut them apart separately. But look at these giant images. Oh, I can't wait. These are going to be so perfect for what I want to do. And they're all a little different. They're like towns and villages, and there's some people. And I don't normally do anything with people in them. It's just not my jam. But I think when you see what I do with these, I can excuse that little thing there where I'm going to do something I wouldn't normally do. Oh, look at that one. That one's so pretty. So I'm not going to unroll this whole thing. Oh, that reminds me of where I live. That one's really cool. So I'm very excited. Stick around and you're going to see what my plan is for this tape from the washi tape shop. All right, so my really big idea that I'm really excited about is I thought these would make the cutest jigsaw puzzles. So right now I'm kind of looking through all of these different images, and I finally decided I would just pick 2 of the images with really green pictures on them. So I'm just using my small paper trimmer from when I used to sell Creative Memories and kind of cutting those sections of this washi tape out. So it is like one long roll of tape, and thankfully there's like a straight edge space between each of them, so it's easy to figure out where to cut them. I thought these 2 images looked really cute together. They're very green, they're very outdoorsy. Not a lot of buildings, but definitely you can tell people are there. And instead of just having these images, I thought the page just kind of needed something to anchor it all together. So I had this skinny roll of gray washi tape. I believe I bought this either at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. It was like a few rolls of skinny neutral colors. And all I did is I created a long horizontal box at the top of the page and another long horizontal box at the bottom of the page. And I'm not really sure, to be honest, what I'm going to do yet. I am very much a create first and figure out what to write in it later kind of journalist. So all I know is I really want to turn these washi tape images into miniature jigsaw puzzles. So the first step is to go ahead on the back of the washi tape, and it still has that backing on it, and draw those puzzle piece shapes. Now, this might feel a little complicated, but when I tell you I have been doing jigsaw puzzles for 43 years, I'm pretty familiar with the general shapes of a jigsaw puzzle. This did not take me very long at all to just rough these out, and they didn't really have to be perfect. I just mostly wanted to make sure that they would come out about the same size. So thankfully, a black Sharpie on the back of that thin washi tape paper backing still showed through the permanent marker. And I am just taking my X-Acto knife and kind of cutting out those spots. I know a gyro cutter might have been ideal here. I have one. I have not played with it enough to feel confident enough to use it for this kind of project. So some of my cuts won't be perfect, but in the end, you'll see that it is very clearly a jigsaw puzzle. So not too worried about any little imperfections because the general vibe I was going for comes through loud and clear. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to be very deliberate about where I put them. I want enough of the puzzle to feel like it's been put together that I don't need to cut out every single piece, but I want it to also feel like the puzzle's still in progress. So I knew if I cut too many pieces out right beside each other, then the trick then would be lining them up properly when I stuck it down on the page in my notebook. So what I kind of decided is that I want most of this washi tape sticker to still be actually stuck together and to just have a few pieces that are taken out of the puzzle because the puzzle has not been completed yet. So you'll see me kind of slowing down, giving it some thought. Really all it meant is that making sure that there were areas that had not been connected yet and areas that had been connected and put together. So a little bit of thinking involved here. Sometimes the Sharpie was a little bit hard to see, just depending on how I angled it. It even showed through in those dark places like these trees right here. But I did have to kind of play with it in the light a little bit to see where they were. And honestly, again, I was not going for perfect here. Mostly, I just wanted that vibe of when you look at the final products, you can say, oh, I know where that piece goes. So now I'm taking a very fine point Sharpie marker, and on the front of the washi tape, I'm just sort of tracing over where the black Sharpie is showing through on the back. And now the reason for this is so that even the parts of the puzzle image that have been put together will still look like jigsaw puzzle pieces. Otherwise, it would have given that puzzle vibe, but I think there's something stronger when you can actually see that the whole thing was puzzle pieces, not just that a few puzzle piece shapes had been cut out of it. I hope that makes some sense there. So just kind of tracing over, again, not perfectly. I think a couple places I cut too far, but just to give that general vibe or that general feeling. And now I'm just trimming off these white parts on the edge. If I thought about it in advance, I would have done that before I did the puzzle, like all the cutting of the puzzle pieces. But the washi tape images do have a little bit of white around the edges. And I feel like sometimes that could be really good if you wanted that white frame around it. Most jigsaw puzzles don't have anything like that though. They go right up to the edge of the puzzle. So I wanted it to have that look as well. I tried using the tweezers to help hold some of these pieces, and it was just being difficult. So in the end, my fingers worked just fine. Sometimes there's no need to complicate things, although I still seem to complicate things. So just trimming all these up a little bit, getting rid of those white edges. And then comes the fun part of trying to peel off the backing now that this thing is shaped very weirdly and not having the washi stick to itself anywhere. That part was a little bit freaky, I'm not gonna lie. So let me get my mat out of the way here, get all these little pieces off. Also, trying not to lose any fake puzzle pieces was just as real as trying not to lose any real puzzle pieces. I did not want any missing pieces in my spread, so I had to make sure I was careful about that. So now I'm going to try and peel off this backing, and you'll see all those other black lines are going to disappear because they're only on the backing. And those thinner puzzle lines with the thin Sharpie on the front will show through very nicely without being too big and chunky. So this part was very delicate. I was trying not to rip it, trying to space it just right without parts sticking down that I didn't want to. So I kind of just picked a spot where I knew it would fit, and I just committed to it. And once it was down, I was not going to mess with it again. And I think if you look carefully, you can see those puzzle lines I was talking about. I also didn't think about this part, but I had the fun of peeling off each individual piece after the fact. And I am very much a do things now, think about it later kind of person. So it took a hot minute to get all of these little guys peeled, but I did. And the thought was this puzzle would be at the top, in the top horizontal box, and the other puzzle will be in the bottom horizontal box. So I tried to keep most of these pieces up in the top, and I wanted it to have that feeling like, again, like somebody was in the process of working on this jigsaw. And you'll see that piece there I move a little bit later once I decide I don't want it to be in that bottom horizontal box. I didn't want the pieces to be too close to where they actually go in the puzzle, so I tried to be a little bit deliberate about moving them around and spreading them out, kind of the way a puzzle might be on your kitchen table or wherever you like to do your jigsaw puzzles. I also wanted the colors spread out a little bit. So you'll see I have a little bit of the sky pieces down at the bottom and up on the side, and some of those darker pieces are spread out. It just makes it a little more interesting so there isn't one little spot where all the pieces are the dark puzzle pieces or the green puzzles. And you can see it definitely has a little bit of a shine to it in the light. So there'll be some pieces that look a little brighter than others. It isn't a totally matte finish on this washi tape. There is a glossy to it. Not quite as glossy as PET tape though. So I checked all my pieces. The puzzle was missing 10 pieces. I do have 10 pieces stuck to my spread. So now it is on to the next puzzle. And I ended up having to relocate this little puzzle piece because I had not remembered to leave enough space for the other puzzle at the bottom. And I had thoughts of whether I wanted the bottom puzzle to be completed and just draw the puzzle lines on the top, or if I wanted as many pieces taken out. I think in the end, I thought the first puzzle should be more unfinished than the bottom puzzle. And you can see this one, I really janked up this one pretty bad. These pieces got a little bit too big on there, and I didn't want to redraw or cut out another piece of washi. So I just trimmed that off. So this puzzle's a little smaller, and then I tried to fix it on the back. But again, not looking for perfection, just looking to communicate this idea of a puzzle being in the middle of being done. Anyway, for this bottom one, I figured what I would do is have fewer pieces that needed to be put into this puzzle. So this puzzle will look more complete than the one on the top. I didn't want to cut out quite as many pieces because the top already felt very full, and it just didn't want more green pieces all over the place. I think in retrospect, because I kind of decided these things as I went, I think in retrospect, I almost wish I had picked a different image with different colors in it. So I picked both green images so they would look nice together, and they do. But I think if I could go back, I probably would have picked an image that had just something totally different than green in it. That way it would be a little more obvious which pieces went to which puzzle. But not going to be bummed about that because in the end, I still think everything turned out really cute. So this puzzle, I only cut out 4 pieces. And again, I'm taking that black Sharpie, the thin line, and I'm going across the top and just retracing those puzzle shapes, trying to be a little careful about the spacing. It was a little trickier this time because as you saw on the back, it was quite a mess. So just going to go ahead and trace these out, and then I will stick this one down in the book as well. I would say if you are going to draw puzzle pieces, really you can draw a puzzle any which way. I have puzzles that just bump up next to each other that don't interlock. These are the pieces I'm doing now are what's known as interlocking pieces, because the little nubs fit into the little holes. I don't know the technical terms for those things, but in any case, if you decide that you want to draw a puzzle with pieces, the biggest tip I can give you is just make sure that every piece has a nub and a hole. You can have pieces that are all nubs, you can have pieces that are all holes, but just keep in mind, you can't have pieces with two nubs next to each other unless there's a hole for it to go into. This sounds very bizarre saying it this way, but if you would like a tutorial on how to draw puzzle pieces, I am very happy to do a video on that. Just leave me a message in the comments. So this one was a lot easier to peel since most of the image is still stuck together and is more of a completed puzzle. So same thing, just stuck that down. This time I only have 4 little pieces to cut those edges off of and stick down. And this is, I think, when I had the idea that the puzzle pieces that go to the puzzle on the right should be in the bottom box, and therefore the other pieces should all be in the top box. So you'll see in a minute I do move that little piece kind of to the left of my hand there. And I'll get that guy out of the way so he's up in the top where he belongs. I think my washi tape was coming up a little bit at the edges there, so I'm trying to just kind of push it in the glue with that with those tweezers. So stick this one down. I do love the backing comes off very easily on this washi tape, so it really was no trouble at all to do this, even though there was probably an easier way for me to do it. I never figure out the easier way until I've done the hard way first a few times. There we go. Let's get that guy out of there. Very removable too. I will say I like that also. And we'll stick that guy up there, and with that, we pretty much have our finished spread. And this is my final spread. It's simplistic in that it really only is these 2 pieces of the washi tape and these gray strips along the back. But it's complicated in that I have cut out puzzle pieces, but I think I'll use this spread for some journaling. I can journal a little bit up here in this space, a little bit down there, and to be honest, that's what I love about journaling, is that I can squeeze things in wherever I want. The washi tape is a little bit glossy, so if I lay that down, you can't really tell, but up close, it does look like a puzzle with some missing pieces, and I'm pretty happy about this. And just a reminder, if you would like to get 10% off at the washi tape shop, just type in that code, thejellyfish10. I greatly appreciate that. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.